Hello. So, my name is Melanie Parry. I'm a triple diamond leader with It Works Global, and we're going to go over bridal shops and salons tonight. So we have got lots of these amongst the team. So lots and lots of them from all different, places and types of country. So we've got lots of experience of dealing with them. And just to let you know that, some of our most successful distributors are bridal shops and salons. So that's, a key thing to know as we're going forward with this. So, sorry, what's that? Does this sometimes? I think it does it on screen share. Right, there we go. So, the key thing to know when you're walking into salons or bridal shops is, don't be another salesperson that's walking in. If you're going in with a briefcase and a portfolio of what you're going to talk about, they have so many people that do that. The beauty of being a wrap girl is that you're wearing your jeans, you've got your It Works t-shirt on. If you haven't got an It Works t-shirt, black t-shirt, we'll get you a sparkly lanyard with a Blitz card attached to it, so you look like you've got a little bit of It Works bling on you. And the key thing is to just walk in with a Blitz card. Okay, keep it really, really simple. All you want to do is tell them about this product, what it's done for you, and how amazing you think it is. So just to give you a little bit of context, when I first started, I walked into Jati Kadale's salon, and I just literally walked through the door, no appointment, and just said, this is something I found. I think your clients would love it. And we arranged a demo because the key thing is about getting the wrap on them so they can see what the wrap is capable of. Okay, it doesn't matter who it is in the salon that you wrap, as long as the manager is around or is seeing it. It doesn't have to be the manager that you can wrap anybody, but always get the cost price of the wrap back from people. Okay, so always make sure that you've got that £15 back, basically because you want to cover your cost, and if they aren't paying for the wrap, then the chances are they're not going to follow the instructions. Okay, so I know I started this business, and in the first month I sold loads and loads of wraps, so I was making a great profit. So I was using my wrap rewards and I was wrapping salons for free. But the truth is the salons I wrapped for free didn't join. Okay, the salons I wrapped for free didn't drink the water, they didn't take the after photos. You don't need to be doing that. Okay, so charge them cost price. They're going to be more than happy to do that. They're used to that. And explain why. Don't be afraid to say to them that the reason you're going to get this £15 off them is so that they do it properly, and that you've got experience that if you wrap people free, that doesn't happen. And that doesn't have to be your experience. It's my experience. It's other people's experience. So don't be afraid to use that. But the key thing is keeping it simple and just going in, and you want them to see what the product does. Okay. A number of people will send out loads and loads of emails to salons, which is great, but you're going to have to work a lot harder if all you're doing is sending emails out. Okay. Walking through the door, picking up the phone, letting them hear the excitement, letting them see your excitement is the most powerful way. With social media, by all means, get on there, start texting people, start sending messages to people on Facebook and Instagram. But as you're sending the messages out, your key goal is to get them on the phone. Okay, so that's what you want to do. You want to be talking to them, because that face-to-face contact or that talking to them on the phone is your greatest way of getting the wrap on them, because when they hear that excitement in your voice, that's when they get really, really interested. And if you are solely relying on sending out messages, then be prepared that you're going to have to send out hundreds, okay? Not just 10. You're not going to send 10 messages out and get a distributor from salons, bridal shops, anything. It's going to be hundreds, okay? Everything in this business is a number game. So if you are sending those hundreds out, then the likelihood is that you'll get something, but you've got to be on it. You've got to be consistent. So if you're interested in, if you're trying to do it from home predominantly, rather than walking in through the doors, then lots and lots and lots of messages. You need to be on this. You need to be messaging 5 to 10 people every single day, as we talk about in a number of the challenge forces. And if you're consistent with it, then they will come. And then the minute they show a little bit of interest, then you have to be consistent with your follow-ups. But it's important to know that, the majority of us don't have time to go walking through the door of all these salons. But when you first start out, if you're in a new area, get out there and walk through the door of these places. Allocate the time, spend your Saturday or Sunday, do something. Just give yourself some time to walk through the doors, because that is going to get you a better impact than all the messaging. If you're at home and that's what you can do, then do the messaging by all means, but just be aware that it's going to take you a little bit longer, and you're going to need a little bit more, persistence with that and tenacity. So a lot of people think that with regards to salons, they'd be thinking to themselves, well, do I really want them on my team? Because the reality is, if somebody's got a salon, they've already got a business, and they probably, they might not be as interested as what other people are with regards to building a team, okay? My answer to you is, you want that salon on your team and not somebody else's. So if there's local salons, you want them to be offering our wraps to build the brand locally, to get the word out, and you want it on your team and not somebody else's. And I'm telling you now, if you think about all those hundreds of messages that are going out, if you're not approaching your local salons and you're not approaching people, somebody else is. So you don't want to be hearing that they're stocking it through somebody else. So a lot of the time, they might not be big volume producers, okay, because they just want to offer it as a treatment. However, you just don't ever know. So Jatti and Stuart Miller, both salons, okay. So Jatti was the first salon that I've walked into. If it wasn't for Jatti and the team that she's built, going to the wedding fair and meeting Tracy Pegg, I wouldn't be at the triple diamond level. If it wasn't for going to Professional Beauty and meeting, Jane Naylor, who Stuart's partner, who then Stuart then signed. Stuart was the ruby and Jane was the emerald to Sarah's diamond, again for my triple diamond. So sometimes it's easy to say, oh, I'm not sure about salons because they don't tend to build teams. But all I can say from my personal experience is, don't ever rule anybody out. Just go for it and speak to everybody. And it's easy to find those people, and it's easy to get in touch with them because you've got a product that they would be interested in. So yeah, definitely go for it. And whilst a lot of them have their own business and might not be interested in the team, there's as many that potentially will. So give it a go. The key thing with salons is keeping it simple. So a lot of the time what they might want to do is they might want to overcomplicate it and get into unnecessary detail. And I've had both. Okay, so I've had salons. So Jati, I was really lucky. I went in, wrapped Jati. She got an amazing result. Joined the business. Jati was all about keeping it simple, and she was just about getting the wrap on people and talking to people about what the results did. I've had other salons who stopped Dermalogica, who want to get into the detail of how it works. And with that salon, with that salon and with other salons, it's all about, let me just wrap you and let you see the results, because that's when the magic happens. When they see that result, they know that their clients are going to want this. And don't feel intimidated. So some people can feel really intimidated by salons, as if they're going to ask them all of these really complicated questions that they're not going to know the answers to, and they're going to feel silly. Don't worry about it. If you've got the ingredients list, just focus on that. Okay, here's the ingredients. The likelihood is, if they're that sort of, if they've got Dermalogica, for example, in the salon, and they're into their ingredients, they will quite happily go away, or they'll read those ingredients and they'll go, oh yeah, I know what that does, and I know what that does, and I know what that does, or they'll go away and research it. Let them do that. Okay, don't you get worried and into the science or anything like that, because we don't know it. We don't know the science. All we know is you put the wrap on, the moisturizer is absorbed, it breaks down the rubbish, you drink the water, it flushes it out. That's it. That's all you need to know. When they see those ingredients, they'll see that. So don't be afraid to approach salons, and certainly don't think that you need to know everything, because if you are really excited about the product and what it's done for you, then I can guarantee that they will be excited too. And I know that from Jati. Jati always laughs and says, Mel, you knew nothing. Because I didn't. I've been with the business a week. I'd literally wrapped, seen it. Oh my God, everybody needs to know about this. Walked into salons, showed her. So don't be afraid. If you're excited about the product and you're not going in as a salesperson, that is actually a breath of fresh air for most salons. So just, embrace that and go for it. So with regards to our wraps, there are so many benefits that our wraps offer over other things. Okay, they don't need any shower facilities. That in particular was key for Jati. She wanted to know, have I got it? She has actually got a shower, but she just didn't want to get into that side of things. So yeah, no shower facilities are required. It's a 2-minute application. Time is money with beauticians. So if you're offering them something that can be applied within a couple of minutes and that doesn't need a treatment room out, so if they've already got something like the universal contour wrap, then the likelihood is that they've got to have a treatment room for 2 hours, blocked out, somebody lay on a bed. We don't need that. Okay, we haven't got people being measured and wrapped in clay and lay down and then it all having to come off again. With ours, you can just pop it on and other treatments can be undertaken. So that is huge for salons, because they're not then looking at this as in, how much can I make from 2 hours? This is 2 minutes. So you're offering them something that they can make a minimum of £10 added on to other treatments. So the people are already coming in, and they're going to make a minimum of £10, if not more, for 2 minutes. It's huge. That is a massive, massive selling point for ours. They can sit, they can have their nails done, they can have their eyebrows, eyelashes, all host of other things done whilst it's on. Also, as I was writing this today, something dawned on me in that, so for example, with like Dermalogica, we don't have an insistence that people have exclusivity. So they can have the wrap, but they don't necessarily have to have our skincare. And that's a big thing, because a lot of places insist on people having the full product range, and we don't. people that, you know, you can buy what you want from that product range. So if you like the look of the wraps and you also think that people would be interested in the hair, skin and nails, they're the things that you can offer. So again, huge benefit with regards to ours. If they've already got a skincare line that they love, they can keep that. So that's a real massive positive. And they can offer it alongside Shrinking Violet or Universal Contour. So if they've got clients that particularly like those wraps, but they think, in particular, the Shrinking Violet tends to be a full body wrap, as does the Universal Contour. If they think that they would like to offer something that's just for a target area, whilst maintaining those other wraps on the price list, they can do that. Okay, so that's not an issue that they do that. So again, we're not putting any restrictions on them, which is fantastic. And you don't have to measure. So we are not going to be measuring people. You know, they're not going to get the tape measure out. If you talk to somebody who does a Universal Contour wrap and they have to measure them head to toe, it's a real palaver, to be honest with you. And getting the tape measure in exactly the same place time and time again is tough. So you tell people they haven't got to measure in a salon, and they're really happy about that. All you've got to do is take a photo. They can purchase as and when they're required. There's no need for large stock holding. Universal Contour in particular, they have to hold a lot of stock of clay, which is very expensive and has to be used within a certain time period. So with ours, they can buy a box of 4 wraps for £60, and they've got 18 months before the shelf life on that has gone. So that's huge. You know, they can purchase as and when they require and with a really low quantity. They don't have to pay for their trainers. So if they're doing Shrinking Violet or Honey I Shrunk, they have to pay to go on a training course to be taught how to do it. None of that. Everything is free. They've got somebody who, you know, like yourself, who's enrolled them. They've also got all of the team support. They've added to a team page. They've got questions. They can discuss treatment plans with other salons. Everything is there that they could possibly need. Now I've just realised I can't see the last point. I don't know what the last point is on here. So there's team support. I don't know how I get rid of that. Hide video panel. No, that's not it. Oh, there we go. And the wraps are a great treatment to extend their appointments early into the week. Okay, so this is a really positive thing, because as you can imagine, if people are having nails or lashes or all those sorts of things, they tend to be on like a Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So salons are particularly busy on Thursday, Friday, Saturdays. We offer a treatment that is particularly suited to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, because of people, you know, not drinking the alcohol, wanting to be ready for the weekend. It's absolutely perfect for stretching out the treatment so that they've got people coming in at the beginning of the week when it would normally be a quiet period. Okay, so we talked about they can order as and when they want. Okay, so they don't have to be commission qualified. They don't have to order on an auto shipment. They can do if they want. And I know Jati always found that really useful. She, you know, always ordered on an auto shipment because she wanted to know that she got those products coming in ready for the people that needed them. They don't need to have the website. Okay, so that's something that they can do. And I wouldn't mention the loyal customer scheme until, so I would try and get their launch party booked in as soon as possible. So they've signed up, get a launch party sorted for them. And then it could well be that at the launch party you discuss with them the loyal customer scheme and just let them know, just say, this is something that's available. It's a way of being able to make an income from people that you're not wrapping in the salon and those wraps are being sent directly to them. Is that something you're interested in? If it is, you can bring it up on the launch night. If it's not, then you just leave it as the treatments. But you know, a lot of time people will be interested in that because of the wrap rewards and because of the product credit that they can get. So don't rule it out, but I wouldn't bombard them when you're first talking to them because it can be quite off-putting. Now, I've just seen that Tracy's on the call. Is she still on? Is she still on the call? Is Tracy still on the call? Hold on 1 second. Oh, I think she's had to pop off. So I'll go through the bridal shops. If anybody sees Tracy pop back on, let me know. So bridal shops, okay. With regards to bridal shops, it's best to walk in or call to try and arrange an appointment time to chat, okay. So with bridal shops, if you're walking into them, the chances are they might have a bride in at that moment in time. So don't take it personally if they want to arrange an appointment time to chat to you, okay. Tuesdays are a particularly quiet day in wedding dress shops, so it's a great time to get on the phone to them and a great time to see if you can pop in and again, try and get the wrap on them, okay. Try and get them to see what the wrap's all about. As we've talked about previously, if you want to be doing direct messages and text on Facebook and Instagram, they're great, but you're going to need to talk to lots of people, okay. So just bear that in mind if you are thinking of going down that approach. Is if you've messaged 20 people and not got a response, that is completely normal, right? Because numbers is the game, okay. Numbers is the way forward with so many different things with this business. If you're only talking to one person about joining the business, okay, and that person says, do you know what, I don't think it's right time for me, you get a real big drop in your morale. If you're talking to 10 people about joining the business and one person says, I'm not sure about it at the minute, you're just in such a better place in your own head because you've got another 9 still that you're chatting to. So always keep your numbers up on the amount of people that you're speaking to. And, you know, this is a key way of doing it through, you know, talking to salons and bridal shops. Obviously, brides want wraps, okay. So from what Tracy's told me, there basically isn't a single bride that doesn't want something that we can offer. The chances are that if the bride is a size 8, she'll still want a wrap on her arms. She'll still go, oh, do you know what? I love that toning effect on my tummy. It does not matter how small the bride is, they want to wrap. So when you're talking to bridal shops, you can have complete and utter confidence that every single bride that stands in front of that mirror says, I just need to lose a bit from here, or oh, if I could just get this hair, or oh, just a little bit off my bust, or a little bit. Every single bride has an area of them that they're going to want to switch up a little bit. And if they don't want to wrap, they'll want the facials. So you've cracked it. You've spoken to this bride shop, this wedding shop, and they've decided, yeah, do you know what? Every single bride's going to want these wraps. I don't have a single bride that doesn't stand in front of that mirror and say, I want to change something. So you've got them in, you know, they've joined the business. The wraps should be in a position that is really visible within the shop. And if they can't be in that position, then, you know, or if they're not with it particularly, as in, you know, they've got a certain style to the shop, then they're going to have to work a little bit harder. It's doable, but if you can get them to get those wraps visible in the shop, and in particular right next to the mirror, because those brides are going to stand in front of that mirror, they're going to look at that box and they're going to say, what is that? And then you can tell them. You shouldn't ever, so no bridal shop should ever be in a position where they are feeling like they are making a bride feel uncomfortable by offering them a wrap, because the chances are that that bride is going to say, I want to do this, I want to do that, and all you have to say is, here's the wrap, this, I've got this, look, these are the sorts of results. It could be something that could help. You won't, as a bridal shop, you shouldn't ever have to approach this, because they're going to ask the question and they're going to be saying, I want this and I want that and I want to lose a bit here. So yeah, no hard sell, show them the pictures. These brides are spending thousands upon thousands of pounds on their wedding. And you know, God knows how much on beauty treatments and dresses. I know I got married 4 years ago in July. The amount I spent on beauty treatments was just ridiculous. I tried everything. If these wraps would have been about, it would have been absolutely lethal. I'd have been a look, I'd have had the facials, I'd have had the peel, I'd have had the wraps, I'd have had the defining gel. I don't think there's a product I wouldn't have tried, to be honest. I'd have had the whole lot, because I was Googling the best serum, the best primer, eye cream. I can remember I was using like probably 2 eye creams at the time. There was, you name it, I used it with regards to getting married. So they're going to want it. And the great thing with bridal shops is that they're going to have that constant flow of people, and they're going to have those people that want it. So again, not necessarily on your first contact with the wedding dress shop, but definitely, you know, once they've joined, tell them about the loyal customer option, because those wrap rewards are going to increase the profit, and those brides that are coming in, they are going to want to wrap more than one place. So the loyal customer scheme is just amazing for them. So on that note, launch party. A launch party is absolutely crucial for everybody, okay? But it's especially crucial for a wedding dress shop. So you get those brides through that door for a launch party, and you've got 4 loyal customers. They've got however many people buying dresses, they've got Facebook pages, they can get those people in to get those loyal customers for that launch party. And if they get 4, they get £88 in product credit, which means they can then, you know, have more, you know, have the money, the free products, and get more profit. So talking about money, when you're talking to bridal shops, the investments of the wraps is so low in comparison to anything else that a bridal shop looks at. The £200 business builder mini booster is just a must-have with regards to these. When you're talking to these wedding dress shops, okay, 1 sample dress, so that's not a dress that they're going to sell, that is purely a dress that gets put on a hanger for people to look at and try on. That is going to cost around £400, okay? They're not even sold on. So they're paying out for all these sample dresses just to show people. So you say to them, here's a business builder kit and mini booster for £200, sell the 12 wraps and you've got £300, and the 4 facials, that takes you up to £400, they're sold. That is, you know, it's something that can get their money back on immediately. So, and it's not a huge amount, so they're absolutely sold. And the reality is that isn't actually much money in the bridal industry. Okay, so when you're walking into these shops and they, you know, they can be a little bit tar-da-da or whatever, la-da-da, sorry, and not Tracy, obviously, but some can. You've got to remember that there isn't much money in the bridal industry, okay? So they're probably, the majority of money they're making is on things like alterations or shoe sales, not on those dresses. Thanks to the China option, so many brides are pretty much using the dress shops for a changing rooms to try on what sort of styles they want. that they'll then search for later online. And a lot of them are getting stuff from China, in particularly Wales. So these people aren't going to be in a financially, particularly stable position. So you don't have to reference that, but if you talk cash and cash profit that they can bring in, these wraps can offer a financial lifeline to keep their head above water through tough times. So, as I said, we've got numerous members of the team who've caught the vision and run with it from salons and bridal shops. Don't be afraid to talk to them, okay? They're just people like the rest of us. Whilst I would never say just go for salons, get out there, speak to every salon and that's it. Because if you're only talking to salons, you are going to restrict yourself. It needs to be part of a large varied number of people that you're talking to. But you don't ever know where your next runner's coming from. And I can tell you now that Madra Jones, who was one of the first black diamonds within the business, said that's a distributor that earns in excess of $100,000 per month for 6 months, okay, in a row. She was a salon owner. She had a salon. Somebody kept messaging her. They were emailing her. And she was too busy. She didn't see it. They walked through the door. They put the wrap on her and she ran. Okay. And she became, as I say, one of the top earners within the business. So salons are not something to be wrote off just because you think to yourself, oh, they're probably not going to do the volume. Who knows? Who knows what is around the corner and where your next runner is coming from? So don't ever, ever underestimate them. But the key thing is that you need to be running with them. So you need to be running and speaking to everybody. And if you're doing that, then the rest will follow. So I'm going to stop the share and see if anybody has any questions on that before we end it. Did you have any questions, Janine? No, cool.
Going walking to some salons.
Yeah, all pretty straightforward. What about you, Sarah? I've got you. I've unmuted you, Sarah.
Sorry?
I said I've unmuted you. Did you have any questions, Dave?
No, not at the minute.
Cool, that's good. Cool. So that's it. So I shall stop the recording.